that he has done and the leadership he's shown with the Chamber. So please join me in welcoming Michael Nick.
Well, now the moment you've all been waiting for, and no, it's not me. I don't think I'd entice 230. How many people?
Don't tell the fire marshal, I think.
Oh, okay. He's not here. But it's about 230, but I think it is a record turnout. So give yourselves a round of applause for getting up this morning. And from what Keith's son tells me, early mornings are not an unusual thing. Scott recalls early mornings, 5:30, being woken up to go fishing. And he'd often scare away the fish, and sometimes I guess he'd come back with nothing. But I'm sure you weren't disappointed, just the fact that you got to spend time with him, as we're not disappointed for getting up bright and early today to listen to you. I know that it's going to be great. So I want to jump into the official bio. So how did Mayor Hobbs get here? So Mayor Hobbs was born in London, England, and moved to Thunder Bay in 1964. He graduated from Hillcrest High School, and after college, worked in the grain industry, Great Lakes Paper, now Bowater, and other industries. He joined the Thunder Bay Police in 1976 and was promoted through the ranks and attained the rank of Staff Sergeant. So wonderful. During his policing career, he was Unit Commander of Criminal Investigation and Criminal Intelligence branches, as well as the Liaison Officer to Criminal Intelligence Services of Ontario, retiring as Watch Commander in the Uniform Patrol Branch. He has an extensive background in labor relations, and having served on the board of directors for the Thunder Bay Police Association for 23 years, 11 as president. Wow. Mayor Hobbs also sat on the executive committee of the Police Association of Ontario and was a strong lobbyist at both the provincial and federal level on issues affecting the safety of Thunder Bay and Ontario residents. He's also been a part-time professor at Confederation College in the Police Foundations and Security Programs, and instructed at the Ontario Police College in Aylmer. Perfect. Aylmer, Ontario. So a great protector of our city, and this carries over to family life as well. Scott was also telling me that you'd welcome your daughter's dates to the house wearing your police uniform. So I'm glad I never asked her out. So. But without further ado, I present to you your worship, Mayor Keith Hobbs.
That's a true story. My poor daughter, first date she ever brought home, she came downstairs. "What did you say, Dad?" And poor guy was terrified. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a pleasure to be here as your guest for the Chamber of Commerce annual breakfast and the Mayor's State of the City address. To begin with, I would like to congratulate Justin Freight on his election for the 2011 term of Chair of the Board of the Chamber of Commerce, and to recognize the Chamber's Board of Directors, including past Chair Craig Urquhart and President Harold Wilson. Harold came into my office wearing cheese on his head this week. I couldn't believe it. But I can understand that as a diehard Bruins fan. I'm a happy guy today. I was very grouchy yesterday. But last night, after the Bruins pasted the Habs, I'm in a much better mood today. If I could just get the following people to stand, and we'll do something I learned at the Chamber dinner the other night was the clap. So if the following people would stand up, and we'll clap, and then at the end, hold your applause till the end. I'd like to recognize my colleagues on council who are present. Councillors Ian Angus, Councillor Rebecca Johnson, I don't know if she showed up yet, Councillor Brian McKinnon, Councillor Aldo Roberto, Councillor Joe Verderamo, and I see Councillor Paul Pugh is here, Councillor Ken Boschkoff, and that's all that's on my list, so if there's any more, please stand. And I'm very proud to very proud to be sitting with the following people. If they could stand up as well, and we'll give them a clap. And Chief Peter Collins from Fort William First Nation, you don't have to stand. He just had knee surgery. And, you know, I've really got to hand it to him. I can see the pain in his face today, having a knee replaced, and he took the time to come here, and I really appreciate that, Chief. Grand Chief Stan Beardy from Anishinaabe Aski Nation. And Deputy Grand Chief Les Ludet, Anishinaabe Aski Nation. David Paul, Achini Peniskum, CEO, Matawa First Nation, and Edmund Collins, Economic Development Officer, Fort William First Nation, and Wilfred King, Special Advisor, but I understand he just got a promotion to Manager, Bingwiniashi Anishinaabe First Nation. Thank you. The partnership between the Chamber of Commerce, City of Thunder Bay, and First Nation from across the region is vital. These partnerships help our community to grow, retain and expand business, provide jobs, and have a higher quality of life. We are neighbors, partners, and friends. After 46 years of living in this city, I'm still amazed at the treasure that we call home. Our geography is second to none, and our beauty is part of who we are. Our people are incredibly resilient, determined to make Thunder Bay a better place to live and enjoy. Today, global forces and global demands for natural resources are creating huge opportunities for the economic future and diversity of our region. The next 4 years will be spent building a solid future that keeps our children here, a future inclusive of young and old, rich and poor, the abled and the physically challenged. I believe each person in our city deserves nothing but our best in ensuring that they are included in our efforts. Today we face challenges which we will address by working together with confidence, dedication, and fresh ideas. Two such challenges are the wind farm and the completion of Phase 1 of the waterfront project. Thus, I was in a bad mood yesterday. We'll have to wait for the first issue as it makes its way through the legal channels, but I can assure you that our City Council will be very diligent in following this process through. By now, you will have heard about budget escalation associated with the waterfront project. While I'm very disappointed, I will support the recommendation to increase the budget at this time, which involves reallocation available city funds from the next phase of the project. We need to complete this project. From my perspective, we can't move forward by looking back. Come October 31st, we will have a project of which we can be proud. Maybe we can bring in the new year with fireworks and a skating party. And for the longer term, I would like to see a winter carnival that rivals the Quebec Winter Carnival. A personal hero of mine is George Chavallo, and Chief Wilfred King from Gull Bay invited me up this summer to meet with George Chavallo. George is a retired Canadian heavyweight boxer, and he was never knocked down in 93 professional fights between 1956 and 1979. Mr. Chavallo lost his entire family to drug and alcohol abuse. He didn't always win, though often he did, but he was never knocked down. Closer to home, we see that kind of resilience in Thunder Bay lawyer and human rights activist David Shannon. In 1999, he trekked 9,000 kilometers across Canada in a wheelchair to promote greater social inclusion. He was the first paraplegic to reach the North Pole. And since late last month, he's now a recipient of the Order of Ontario. That's the kind of resilience and determination I see in Thunder Bay. We're fighters. We go the distance. And when we set our sights on achieving goals, we very often win. We may sometimes be on the ropes, but you just can't knock us down. By capitalizing on our resilience, our determination, and our imagination, we will respond to new global challenges and turn them into new and exciting opportunities. Economic development is as important a challenge as any. We must learn from past endeavors and ensure that every step we take is a building block for our future success. As a research and innovation center, as a mining service center, as a value-added forestry sector, as a manufacturing center, as a regional health center, and as a transportation hub. We know elections are coming for the other orders of government, and we, together with the Chamber, Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, First Nation, and other partners, want to send a strong message that the North deserves special attention. It must be recognized that Northwestern Ontario is an emerging force. Just last week, I attended a meeting of the Northern Ontario large urban mayors. We were unanimous in calling on the government to release the final version of the Northern Ontario Growth Plan, along with new funding dollars for infrastructure and labor force development, and I stress new dollars. We said, give us the tools and we'll put them to work for sustainable economic development. History tells us that when Northwestern Ontario does well, all of Ontario benefits. We must also listen carefully to learn more about the challenges and opportunities facing people, businesses, and organizations in our city. You may have heard about my walkabouts. Walkabout Wednesdays. I, together with other councillors and city managers, make a point to get out of City Hall to see and hear firsthand what is happening in our community. On a bus to the East End, we learned that seniors are having difficulty because the buses stop early in the evening and seniors are left to walk across the bridge or through the underpass. On a tour of Lakehead University, we met with the new president, Brian Stevenson, and learned how excited he is to advance our university as a learning and research facility and as an engine of opportunity, as a collaborative force in job creation and investment partner with the Thunder Bay CEDC. On a visit to Confederation College, I saw how they are preparing folks for the emerging jobs in the mining sector. President Pat Lang has done an amazing job anticipating and responding to challenging trends, and the college has big shoes to fill, and I would like to recognize Pat. I don't know whether she's here, but please give her a round of applause. It's that kind of foresight and insight that makes Thunder Bay such a wonderful place. On future walkabouts, we hope to learn more about the concerns of business, large and small, and how we can better support you for the waves of opportunities we envisage over the next 5 to 10 years and beyond. The walkabouts are a demonstration of our philosophy at City Hall. We want to be visible in the community. We want to listen, and we want to bring what we learn to City Council tables. We also want to take City Council's goals and priorities to the community. Together, we will find solutions to the challenges and the many emerging opportunities we face as a community. Seeing firsthand, and I have seen it firsthand, believe me, the devastation caused by substance abuse is clear, and we must work together to act before circumstances worsen. We must support the drug strategy, and I salute Rebecca Johnson for being chair of that strategy. And just this past Monday, Council supported a needs analysis to address crisis-related housing for people with substance abuse problems. We are addressing this problem now. We cannot let it fester any longer. Seeing a child without food is unacceptable. Our city should not tolerate hunger and poverty. We are committed to working with the community to develop a poverty reduction strategy with measurable goals. In 4 years, we must be able to say we have raised the bar, and we cannot fail in this mission. Everyone here is part of the solution, like the Patterson Foundation and Fort William Rotary, when they made major contributions to the building campaign for the Regional Food Distribution Association. I challenge each of you to reflect on your contributions to social sustainability. Can we do more individually and together? Seeing many Aboriginal people still fighting for equality or waiting to be welcomed within our society is something that in 2011 should no longer exist, and I as mayor will not tolerate. We have made some progress, but not enough. We need to recognize and appreciate that our closest neighbor is Fort William First Nation, and it is on their traditional land that this city was built. We have met with Chief Peter Collins, and together we're planning a historic meeting between Thunder Bay City Council and the Fort William First Nation Band Council. We can and we will accomplish many great things together. Thunder Bay is also a historic Métis settlement, so we must remember the contributions that Métis people have made and continue to make in our community. People from Anishinaabe Nation are not only our guests, they are our family, they are our friends, and they are our partners in building a new regional economy and a new north where everyone's human rights are respected. I am pleased to have been invited to address the NAN Economic Summit coming up in February, and in December I spoke at the All Chiefs Conference, and it was an honor. We have met with Grand Chief Stan Beardy. He has 49 communities in his territory. Our vision is to make Thunder Bay the 50th NAN community. We are building a strong rapport that will only grow stronger over time. We are fortunate to have major First Nation organizations and businesses in Thunder Bay, like Matawa, Nan, Wasaya, and many, many more. Recently, the city manager have met with many Aboriginal organizations, and the message I'm hearing is that we're not taking full advantage of the opportunities they have created by choosing Thunder Bay as a home base. We have heard that nearly $1 billion leaves Ontario for Manitoba everyday goods and services. Really though, economics is a secondary benefit. What comes first are our relationships. It's about respect, inclusion, and being good neighbors. And remember that when we talk about the Ring of Fire and things like that. Hearing from people that they are having a tough time making ends meet and feeling overtaxed is another reality and a challenge we must recognize. Creating a city that provides efficient, affordable services while finding new and innovative ways to deliver them is possible if everyone, management and union, council, administration, work together to make it happen. In 2011, the city manager will be starting a detailed multi-year review of all corporate processes and city services to identify cost savings that can go to reduce taxes or reinvest in areas like capital road improvements. Administration has worked hard to deliver a preliminary city budget for council's consideration, which has a projected 1.6% average residential tax increase. An important point to note is that if your property assessment is not changed in 2011, there will be no increase in city taxes. Budget discussions are currently underway, and over the next few weeks, council will continue to discuss priorities and take a close look at the budget. As you may remember from the campaign, I wanted a budget freeze for 2 years, and while that may not be possible, because of service and infrastructure needs, we'll get as close as we possibly can. Currently, the city budget overall is only up about 0.4% in 2011. So I'm happy with that, but I still want it to come down. As mayor, I'm working closely with council, the city manager, and our administrative team, starting with our new strategic plan that will set priorities for the city. We're off to a good start, and later this month, we will be asking citizens for their thoughts on services and priorities as part of our strategic planning process. We will be asking community leaders like the Chamber to be our partners in this process. We want to align our efforts for the benefit of the community overall. In 2009, citizens told City Council that roads are a top priority for service improvements. We are listening. In addition to $10 million for road improvements, bridges, and related infrastructure to the normal capital budget, a new infrastructure renewal program of $1.5 million is proposed that would focus on enhanced city road resurfacing and early work to prepare the way for major infrastructure enhancements to the important Golfinks Road Junot Avenue corridor. We will also be working through our Clean, Green, and Beautiful Committee, for which I'm a member, to beautify our city, starting with image routes we all drive every day. I personally want to see the trees back on Memorial Avenue to honor our soldiers. While it is easy to say we must attract new industry, the fact is we simply have to do it if we are to alleviate the tax burden on our businesses and property owners. In 2010, our assessment base increased by 0.64%, so we're heading in the right direction. And I would like to see our tax base increase by an average of 1% to 1.5% per year. New assessment means new jobs, new homes, new businesses, and it is a major indicator of the prosperity of a city. Global competitive economic factors are a reality, but we need to do everything we can to get the figure up above 1% and head towards the 2% range so we can realize real growth. We must continue to support, reinvent, and grow our traditional resource-based economy, which if achieved can only add to those successes and create a future that a decade ago was only a dream. Forestry may be on the ropes across Canada, but it will rebound as a value-added industry. Now that Abitibi-Bowater has stabilized, the company will, subject to certain corporate conditions being met, invest about $48 million over a 2 to 3 year construction period for a new condensing turbine at their Thunder Bay facility. More competitive energy pricing will help all of our industries to compete in the global marketplace. And we will be bringing that message loud and clear at the end of the month as City Council, NOMA, and other mayors and municipalities go down to OGRA, Ontario Good Roads Association meetings at the end of this month. The potential for the mining sector, new exciting jobs in healthcare and new contracts, new jobs at our local Bombardier plant are wonderful examples of efforts to help us transition our economy from one that depended traditionally on natural resources to one that is diversified and better positioned to meet the challenges of the 21st century. Growth in each of these areas mean we must continue to fight for our community. In fact, we see growth and development all around us. Old buildings are coming down. Building permits are going up. We're seeing new buildings come up from the ground like DSAB, Social Services Building in the South Core, and the excavation has started on the Consolidated Courthouse. Thunder Bay has made it well known that it is keenly interested in the potential of being the site for the proposed ferrochrome processing facility, and it's not a smelter. I'm going to pass a bylaw. If I hear anybody calling it a smelter, you're going to jail. We must never forget, however, who manages and directs the Garden of Resources on First Nations land. And I want to read that line again. We must never forget, however, who manages and directs the resources on First Nation lands. Equally, it's not about winning or losing. It's about talking to our neighbors about who can do what and what's best so that we all win. Whether we are selected as the final site or not, there will be huge spin-off benefits to Thunder Bay as a mining service center. We are dealing with a global company, and we are totally committed to realizing all of the value-added opportunities that our mining resources will offer us in order to enhance our quality of life. Excuse me for 1 second. Another example of working with our neighbors for everyone's benefit is Global Sticks in our neighboring Oliver Papoonge. The state-of-the-art facility, which I toured on Monday, and I was amazed, by the way, at that plant, will be exporting 20 different manufacturing sticks, from popsicle sticks to tongue depressors, to the United States, supplying nearly 40% of the total world market. Global Sticks will be a wonderful example of what other hard-hit forestry-dependent communities have been trying to accomplish and what Thunder Bay is actually doing. Helping business create the value-added component in forestry resources. With an investment of over $10 million, the facility is expected to initially create between 85 and 90 jobs once it is fully operational, and I've heard this week that it has the potential for up to 300 jobs as market opportunities emerge around the globe. China's market for sticks is pretty much collapsed, so this plant is going to take off and do wonderful things for this area. Thunder Bay's Community Economic Development Commission, CEDC, worked hard to support Global Sticks and many other companies and initiatives in 2010. Council had one of its regular updates from CDC on Monday, and they were involved in projects and developments that have created hundreds of direct and indirect jobs in 2010. They work hard, often behind the scenes and under confidentiality agreements, to support business retention and expansion in Thunder Bay. Finally, and very importantly, for the benefit of all residents and businesses, we must make community safety a priority. All local stakeholders and each one of us must band together and take back our streets. Our City Council is tasked with providing a safe and positive environment for business to grow and prosper. We cannot ignore our role. We must set concrete, measurable goals to reduce crime. We need to show criminals that they are not wanted here, while letting the rest of the world know that Thunder Bay is a safe and inviting city for business. 4 years from now, our community will be safer, cleaner, business-friendly city. So less poverty, less crime and disorder, more jobs, more economic diversity, more acceptance. Those changes will truly make Thunder Bay one of the best places in the world in which to live. We have what it takes. The people in this room have what it takes, as does our community as a whole. Our unemployment rate has been a downward trend since the depths of the financial meltdown. As of January, it stands at 6.8%, lower than many comparable cities in southern Ontario. Nevertheless, we have much work to do to realize our potential and drive that unemployment rate even lower. So Thunder Bay, let's get off the ropes and get to work. The future is now for Thunder Bay. Miigwech, thank you.
I expect there might be a question or two for the mayor.
Good, because my voice is going.
Wow, they are mesmerized. That is effective. One more cut. Going once, going twice. If I can invite our 2011 chair.